Welcome to the Red Rock Hydroelectric Project. I'm Vern Cochran, plant supervisor. I work for Missouri River Energy Services. We are the owner and operator of this hydroelectric project. I'm here today to share some of our highlights and hurdles of our 6-year journey of building this project. Missouri River Energy Services provides power and energy services to our 61 member communities located in Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Iowa. Prior to the start of the physical project, Missouri River Energy Services installed several features around Lake Red Rock to offset the loss of use for the north tailwater. Due to the construction, we had to secure the North Tailwater recreation area for public safety and worker safety. So to help offset that, Missouri River Energy Services installed picnic shelters over at the South Tailwater. We installed a playground and an additional fish cleaning station at the South Tailwater. We also installed a few extra parking stalls that would accommodate boat and truck trailers, so they had longer parking stalls. Due to shutting down approximately a mile of bike trail for the project, we went to 5-field recreation area and added in 2 miles of bike trail, which ended at Roberts Creek, where we put in a trailhead with 55 parking spots, a picnic shelter, and a vault restroom. At the Cordova Park recreation area, we installed a 60 by 105 foot picnic shelter. That's a wonderful facility. If you have the opportunity to go see that, I would highly recommend it. It's great construction, very sought after for weddings and receptions. Marion County Conservation, they are the folks that manage that particular facility, and they do a wonderful job of that. All of these features were turned over to the Corps of Engineers prior to the groundbreaking, and those remain property of the Corps of Engineers from that point on. And as you can see, we have restored the North Tailwater area to where it's full capacity and full use for the public to use for a recreation area. As far as project details go, we are licensed by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to generate 43.1 megawatts. If water is available, we can generate up to 55 megawatts. That equates to an average annual energy production of about 180,000 megawatt hours. Based on the historic flows of the Des Moines River, that's enough power to generate the electrical needs for all the homes in Marion County. So that's a significant amount of power generation based on energy that was just being sent down the river. Our interconnection to the electrical grid is in Pella, Iowa, in their West Pella substation. We ran a 6.5 mile transmission line from the site into the West Pella sub. We started construction in August of 2014 with the completion of all work in October of 2020. Now, unfortunately, during construction, we endured a lot of high water, few flooding events, a lot of high flows in the river, slowed down a little bit of our production. But when it came time to do our commissioning, we actually had to suspend our commissioning in September of 2020 due to lack of water. It was able to be resumed in March of 21, and we've just finished our final 30-day trial run and performance testing on the last unit. So here in June of 2021, both units have been deemed commercial. We will operate under what's called the run of release as directed by the Corps of Engineers. This dam was placed in this location for flood control. That still remains the primary purpose of the Red Rock Dam. The Corps of Engineers, they have a hydrology department. They look at the forecast upstream and downstream, and they make a determination on a daily basis of how much water to release out of the reservoir. So instead of the dam releasing the water through their sluice gates, they're going to allow us to release the water through our hydro turbines, and we'll be able to generate power. So if you're downstream, you will not even know that then there's a new facility here because the river flow is going to remain the same. We will not affect the river flow or the level of the reservoir. We logged over 2.3 million hours on the project, and that included 39 separate subcontractors throughout the length of the project. As for safety, the national average of an incident rate is 2.8. For our project, we had a 1.9 incident rate, which is well below the national average. We have over 88,000 cubic yards of concrete that's been placed on this project. That equates to about a 22-mile stretch of two-lane highway. There's over 7,500 tons of rebar that have been installed as part of this project. So our key project participants, or the team that MRES chose to build this plant, on the design side, we started with MWH, who is now Stantec. They designed the intake structure, that's the feature on the lake. They designed the penstocks, those are the large diameter tubes that carry the water from the intake down to the powerhouse, and they designed the powerhouse itself. The Wild Grant Record Associates, better known as DGR, they designed our substation at the powerhouse, they designed the transmission line, and they designed the utilities to the powerhouse. As part of this project, we had to run approximately 1.5 miles of new water and sewer lines from 198th Street down to the site of the project. We also selected Ames Construction to be our general contractor. Due to the nature of the heavy civil work required for this project, Ames Construction staffed the project with construction managers, superintendents, and foremen with the expertise necessary in these areas for this project. Ames then aligned themselves with the local trade unions for the remainder of the labor force. By doing this, it allowed many of our local trades and craftspeople the opportunity to build this project. So essentially, the physical work was all done by local folks. Ames also supported the local economy by purchasing what they could from local vendors throughout the project. 100% of the concrete was sourced locally. Much of the wood for the forms was sourced locally. The trash service, portable restrooms, those were all purchased from a local supplier. Ames also purchased many vehicles from a local dealership, and 100% of the fuel used in the machines was purchased locally. Many of the other contractors, the subcontractors, purchased homes and rented lodging for the duration of the project in the Marion County area. And then everyone on site ate 3 meals a day. Much of that food came from local businesses. And our final player or team member of this project was our major equipment supplier, Voith Hydro, out of York, Pennsylvania. Voith has been in the hydro business for over 150 years. We purchased what is called a water-to-wire package. So they provided all of the controls, the physical turbine itself, the generator, and the breaker that will transmit the power up to our substation. So now we're going to give you the opportunity to see some of our highlights and hurdles of this project. So please enjoy the slide presentation. you.